was drunk as a skunk.
I don't recall being drunk. Isn't happy hour anytime?
All rise and like, subscribe, and bang the gavel, baby.
All rise indeed. Welcome to a fresh week. We got a case. I'm your temporary solo host, Mikey the Legend. Glad to see everybody here. If you missed out, Creed was live from Bucky's this morning at the grand opening. Thus, he is not here right now. He's now in transit back home, where we'll be kicking off. We got a chase at 4:05. If you're new around here, maybe I should explain to you what we're doing. These are courtrooms across the, well, I would say the globe, but it's really America, across America, that we're allowed to venture into, check out, and yeah, Creed's not here. Al, be Joshin? No Creed, no. We're going to check them out. We're going to start off with our good friend, Judge Herman, who I like to call the jive court.
Here comes the judge. Here comes the judge.
He's got a way with words and a way with all these people. He's got quite a few lined up. If you would do us a favor, like this video, share it wherever you're at. And yeah, let's go ahead and just jump on into the gravy. Jammy looking like
probably too old to understand. No, I know what a skeleton means with kind of a little depraved heart in it. I think I know what that means.
What the hell's he talking about?
I guess he's trying to tell me that he has a split personality.
I haven't seen it.
Oh, take a look. No, take a look. Take a look.
Mike, enjoy that day off, buddy.
I think he has a split personality. That's what it means.
That would try to apply to everybody in this room.
Yeah, but they're not all wearing it, for the court to see.
Well, Your Honor, I understand that, but
We're arguing with somebody in the
if I
courtroom.
didn't have to wear a tie, I wouldn't be wearing one. I'd be wearing.
I don't think you'd wear a t-shirt like that, Mr. Wheaton. Whether you wore a tie or not. And I've had a dress code in here for 20 years.
I wonder what he's wearing,
And
a t-shirt?
obviously, I'm going to have to start enforcing it.
Well,
Hello,
maybe that's
Huskies.
all that has. I mean, at any rate.
How old are you? 21. Oh, he's a grown man. Well into being a grown man, as opposed to wearing a t-shirt like that to court with a depraved heart skeleton.
I'm not going to comment. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
You don't? Well, I do.
So
Well,
the guy
sure
wore a
know,
shirt into court with
we gotta
skeleton
do it
on
your
it.
way, but you asked me, and my response is, I don't see anything wrong with it.
Okay. Well, I've got a dress code. Well, let me say this. Let me say this really clearly, Mr. Wheaton. I've had a dress code in this courtroom for 20 years.
I'm aware of that.
All right. Number one. Number two, I am required to set proper rules for dress, decorum, etc. I'm required to do that. Okay. So that's part of my responsibility as a judge, to make sure that that is done. And look, Mr. Wheaton.
I don't dispute that.
And look, Mr. Wheaton, the fact of the matter is, I hear what people say to me with their mouths, but I often see what people are trying to say to me.
They are.
By, what they're wearing and the impression they want me to have.
These two. Look.
And maybe people ought to be more thoughtful about that, especially people who are, not 17.
I have no comment.
Okay. Well,
Why don't we just have him take the shirt off right now? Just be shirtless in court.
Okay, Mr. Garrett.
Not a good way to start with the judge. Not a good way to
The
start.
client is here.
That is my client. Spoke with it, and my client indicates he wishes to avail himself of the offer. Is this one that was already fled, or is this a new plea? So I don't.
It looks as though it's new.
Skulls.
New, okay, that's what I suspected.
Mikey punched a microphone.
The offer is very good. My client wants to avail himself of it. Is that
So-
correct, sir?
So they're going to amend this driving while license suspended to improper use of lights, a
Good to
civil
see you,
infraction.
everybody. Lynn?
Into a civil infraction, responsible civil infraction.
And there's also no proof of insurance, civil infraction.
All this for traffic court.
Whatever, yes, whatever. And the DWLS will be dismissed.
Yeah, that's his
Is that your
attorney talking right
understanding,
now.
Mr. Garrett?
Yes, sir.
Shirtless defendant.
Why
Shirtless
did you wear
dad.
that T-shirt today?
I will go to work direct. I was planning on going to work directly.
So you don't own a shirt that has a collar on it?
No, sir.
You own no shirt with a collar on it?
No, sir. Not since high school.
What generations did?
Hang on. Might be your lucky day.
Oh, shit. The judge is going to get this guy a shirt to put on. Oh, I know that's what he's doing. All right, so he's left. He has ended the session to go get this guy a shirt. What in the hell is going on here? All right, we'll be back to that. Wow. I didn't see that coming. Gotta keep a close eye on that. Jump on over
Promises?
here.
No, Your Honor.
See Sally Port.
And you understand this plea is causing you to give up your trial today?
Yes.
And were you operating a motor vehicle with an expired tag?
He jumped
Yes.
up and said,
Where were you
"This
at the
is your lucky
time?
day."
I was headed
Wow.
north on I-35 and I got off on the second exit to El Dorado.
Okay, inside of Butler County. Was this August 16th of 2021?
El
Yes.
Dorado.
I do find you guilty. Recommendations for sentencing, Ms. Booker?
Commissioner, they would ask for a $50 fine, a 30-day underlying sentence, suspend that to 6 months of non-reporting probation, court costs, and then attorney's fees if the court deems it appropriate.
What kind of work do you do, Miss?
I am not working right now. I was let go from my job and I am now getting unemployment. And I'm a single mom with 2 kids. I start my job.
All right, judge is back.
You're living in a different world. You really are. You don't even know why I'm saying that, do you? You have no clue.
No, sir.
Huh?
No, sir.
Curtis Dad, good to see you. This is so crazy.
You're trying to get people to sign a petition that expresses a particular position on a political issue, right? So something can get on the ballot, correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, you want. as
Okay,
many
did
peop-
we miss something? Hold on.
Well-
Hold on. And well, let me rewind it. Yeah, a
You
little
want-
bit. Hold on, guys.
You're trying to get people to sign a petition that
No.
expresses a possible, right?
We didn't miss anything.
Yes, sir.
Because you get paid based on the number of signatures that you get. Is that right?
No, sir.
Huh?
No, sir.
You don't.
I get paid by the hour.
You get paid by the hour. Okay. So there's nothing, so you
Who
could
we get
stand there and
paid
get
by?
one signature
I can't believe he just jumped up.
in an
like that.
hour versus 20 or 40, and you get paid the same?
Yes, sir.
Well, the point
It
is
was
this.
ridiculous.
I would think that in that type of, they don't give you any kind of guidelines on how you should dress when you're approaching people that you want to get to sign petition.
No, they said casual, just casual.
Okay, so this is the same guy with the shirt issue.
He's not the one in a different world. You and I are.
I wouldn't, if somebody came up to me, asked me to sign a petition with a weird shirt like that on, I'd say, keep moving, keep it moving.
And I'm sure you would.
I'd say, keep it moving, man. Get out of my face. I don't want to talk to you. You're too weird for me. What's that?
He is not letting the
If it's
shirt
a
thing go.
petition I'm gonna sign, I'm not gonna look at what the person's wearing.
Look, if somebody's approaching me looking kind of weird, just in general.
You don't look weird, you look overly casual, maybe.
You are so diplomatic, Mr. Wheaton. You're more diplomatic than me.
He does not like this guy wearing this. He wore a shirt, the court with skulls and skeleton on it, and he's just like, won't let it go.
No, not everybody. No, because you know what?
It just had skulls and
I think if there was nothing on the shirt, it probably
skeletons.
wouldn't be a big deal.
Well, obviously, I would agree with you if there was an offensive, something offensive, obviously, but I don't see anything offensive.
This guy's in the courtroom, by the way,
I don't know what he's trying to say.
with his attorney.
Anyway,
That's who you hear
All right.
arguing the facts of the non-factual case about this guy's shirt.
I guess they don't have that book out anymore about dress for success or anything like that, right?
That's my point. I don't think they do either.
Apparently not. Apparently not, because he doesn't even, he's acting like he has no clue about what I'm talking about. No, he's acting like he has no clue.
No clue what's going on in this courtroom.
Okay.
Nate,
I'm
good to see you.
going to dismiss the driving while license suspended. You signed admissions of responsibility to no use of lights and no proof of insurance.
Exactly.
Fine
Keep
for
it
no
moving.
proof of insurance is $165. The fine for use of improper use of lights is
The lady in the middle,
$130.
Jamie Roberts,
These
is
are
just having
due
too
on
much
June
fun. She's
16,
just smiling.
2022. Do you understand that?
Do what?
June 16th,
Thank you.
2022.
I think you're right.
If you don't
Flusha.
pay them by then, you're going to be in default. And whether you have a license or not, you're going to get suspended again. Do you understand that?
I can see people driving without on a suspended license. That happens. But you gotta get that thing back, man.
Okay.
Good.
This is people of the city of Flint versus
I wouldn't want to be next.
Evan Lindell Hollingsworth, case number
What a name.
22G00513. Where's your client?
We have some out here because of.
Well, I hope you're doing all
Okay.
right, Mayor. It's not. He's keeping up his borders. He takes a lot of time to read these things too. Like when the case comes up like this right here, he's going to read and he's going to read. He's going to read a little more.
Well,
Yeah.
that one's not as weird. He's a billboard. Nike. That one's not as weird. It's a billboard. You know, for a sneaker company.
He's commenting on somebody
This
must be wearing a
is,
Nike shirt.
People of the city of Flint versus Davin L. Hollingsworth, case number 22G00514.
What in the hell, our guy?
That's driving while license suspended. And 22G00513,
Whew.
failing to stop and identify after a property damage accident. Let me swear you in. Raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is truth to the best of your knowledge, understanding, and belief.
Yes, sir.
What is your full legal name?
Mikey the
Spell
Legend.
that for my court recorder, please.
MikeyTheLegend. And the D is for
And how old are you?
donkey.
Okay, Mr. Wheaton, this is your client.
It is, Your Honor. I spoke to Mr. Hollendorf this morning. I went over the offer, which is as follows. He pleads to failure to stop and identify.
Well, I hope you get out soon, brother. Hang in there, Mayor.
Prosecution will dismiss count 2, driving while license suspended.
It's
and
Carol.
speed. Hollendorf indicated that
Well, as long as there's nothing offensive on your chest, you can come on in. The D is for don't.
Well, don't you think we ought to go through the plea first? Let me ask you this. Is anybody, is that your
that's a-
understanding of the plea agreement?
That's a happy ending.
Is anybody promised you anything to get
Creed's
you to
traveling
plead
back
guilty
from Bucky's and
to
Florence. He'll be
failing
here for
to
the chase.
Stop and identify after a property damage accident?
No.
Has anybody threatened you to get you to plead guilty?
No.
Is anybody forcing you to plead guilty? Has anybody told you, I'll go easier on you if you plead guilty?
No, he's got to travel
Um,
home.
You understand that this charge carries a penalty of up to 90 days in jail and or $500 in fines and or 2 years probation.
Yes, get well, Mayor. Get well. I can vouch for one of those things. The other one, not so much.
Did you get a chance to review this advice of rights form today? And you've signed it?
Not a
You
pew pew in
understand
sight
you're giving
yet.
up all the rights that are listed there? Is that what you want to do?
I think Jamie's wearing one. Looks like she's got something
Okay.
holding
Do you have
her up.
any questions before I have you enter a plea?
It looks like I received my
Is Donnie going to take a nap, you think? I mean, he looks really comfortable.
Well, I guess I should say any questions
I mean, really
that's
comfortable.
pertinent to the plea.
Oh, no.
Okay. How do you plead to failing to stop and identify after a property damage accident?
Yeah.
What did you do on March 24th of this year that makes you believe you're guilty?
Left the scene of a car to get help, but really
Wait, what?
left the scene of my car because the person I was riding with that pulled up, that came to get me, they had something to do, so they didn't want to sit there with me. So I had them drop me off at home to get my paperwork for the car.
I think we have to back up
Okay.
Back up.
because you haven't told me what you did.
Just left the scene of the car, my car.
Left the scene of your car. What happened?
Basically the car was coming towards me. And, for me, in order for me to have a head-on collision, it was kind of dark. I had to turn on my windows. I swerved I like kind of like moved to the right of me. And I hit a pole.
And where was this?
Courtroom door. I was pulling into the bank, the Huntington Bank.
Mhm.
Mm.
Coming around the corner too
That's not
fast,
good.
and it was I don't know. I feel like
The guy had
like that
skulls
was
on his shirt,
wrong
Nate.
because of the fact that
Scary,
if I
frightening
did
skulls.
see, like if I didn't swerve over, I would have hit him.
Well, there you go. There you go, Mr. Wheaton. Client didn't have a driver's license, but he feels he's perfectly okay to be driving down the road. And if he hits a pole, well, that's not his fault.
Polls
There you go.
happen.
It's not what he said. I'm not-
That is what he said.
It is not what he
That's
said.
where the world needs to go
I'm
next,
not gonna
Eric.
get into it with you. We
Okay.
had our little Go around, so.
All right.
Jeanette,
You hit a
house
pole.
mom on Facebook.
Right.
Listen to what she's saying. She
Did you
knows what
call
she's
the
up
police?
Yeah.
You called the police. All right. Did you wait for the police to get there?
No.
to. Left
And
the scene.
tell me why you did not wait for the police.
Got time for that?
I was really trying to just get the car towed. Like I wasn't, but I understood them like telling me that I had to I had to make a report. I mean, the police had to like intervene before the car got towed. I told them, that's fine. The person I was with that came and got me, they didn't want to feel like they're staying up there with me. So I told them, can they bring me to my house to get my paperwork for the car? And the person that my brother, he pulled up on me at the house, took me back to the car. By the time I got back to
quite
the
the
car,
story.
he already gone.
Virginia, good to see ya. Herman's not having it.
I think
He's leaned all back.
but I was trying to avoid an accident. Could have been way worse.
Why were you driving when you didn't have a driver's license?
Say the truth, Your Honor, I work a lot, so it's not like me personally. It's like I gotta get around. Like I don't like depending on nobody to get me from A to B, nothing like that. So really, need to get around. I mean, I took the steps to I have my permit now. I do it 30 days before I get my license. Like that's what.
How old are you?
I'm 28.
So I'm supposed to be all impressed by that.
Not at all. I'm not trying to pressure none of that. I'm just trying to let you know that I have taken steps to better the situation before anything else possibly happen.
Y'all scare me with all this stint talk.
It's like I have proof, like, okay, yeah, like I'm not coming to you, like, oh, yeah, I still got my license suspended, and I'm gonna still be driving. I took a positive step in to get my license before I even came to this court hearing.
I'm waiting for him to say, what does Marcellus Wallace look like?
That's a pretty low standard that you want me to get excited about, isn't it?
Oh,
Sure it is.
That's for me, that's my personal. Yeah.
But I'm not here concerned about your personal whatever. I'm here concerned about what's happening in the community. Because the fact of the matter is, well, let's get through the plea and then we're going to talk. All right, so you did not wait for the police to arrive. That's the bottom line.
I'm Jamie.
There's a factual basis, Mr. Wheaton. I find there's a factual basis to support the plea. It's no involuntary action.
Trying to work a turd out.
I'll dismiss the driving while license suspended. Why haven't you had a driver's license up to this point when you're almost 30? So you don't really care about the law that says you got to have a driver's license to drive because, as you said, quoting you, I got to get around.
I got to get a license.
No, you got to get around apparently is more important. You could have had a driver's license 10 years ago. True?
I was in prison.
Well, then this really is probably Mickey Mouse to you, isn't it?
I was in prison. Oh, really? If so.
When did you get out of prison?
2014.
It's
Pardon?
good stuff.
2014.
2014.
Oh,
I have my permit before.
let's team up sometime.
Got revoked. I'm just now getting everything situated to the point where I'm able to get my license. I'm not trying to give you a solid.
I mean, that's 8 years ago.
I'm not trying to give you a solid.
I didn't have time to get a license.
Well, that's 8 years ago. That's 8 years ago.
Judge Herman's about to come across his desk and slap this guy in a minute.
Just out of idle.
Jen, good to see you.
Just out of idle curiosity.
Go ahead.
Was it the carjacking charge that sent you to prison?
No.
What was it?
I don't think that's relevant to this.
He brought it up.
I was a minor.
You brought it up by saying, asking him.
I don't even have a.
Sir, hold on. I asked him what he was doing 10 years ago, whatever it is, and he told you what he was in prison for. I've been doing this a long time, Judge. You got nothing to do with this charge.
Herman don't give two shits about what this guy is.
I need to know about your client so I can fashion an appropriate sentence.
Done messed up now. He opened the door.
I mean,
Herman walked through.
I guess I could order a pre-sentence report. All right. And let the probation department, give me a whole.
He's riled up now, man.
Rundown.
And you know what? And I'm guaranteeing that pre-sentence report, there won't be one thing about what he was in prison for.
You want it back?
Yeah. They'll tell you it was in prison. They're not gonna tell you what for unless you ask them.
Okay, well, you
Re-
know,
Why wouldn't
I
it say
mean,
what he was in
it's
prison
not-
for? Is it a mystery?
I mean, Mr. Wheaton,
You're
Mr.
right,
Wheaton,
it is.
it's not a big secret. I could go on Otis. I could go on Otis right now. I could whip out a cell phone, go on Otis and figure it out.
I'm aware of that.
So what's the big deal?
Terminator. What do you think?
What's the big deal?
Well, I told you what I think. I think it's irrelevant. That's the
Okay.
big deal. to
I
me.
guess I don't. Because, you know, he's already telling me
He's toying with him.
that he was driving.
Have a
Because
seat.
this is
Fine.
just in March.
It's
This
Monday.
was last 2 months ago, right? Yeah.
He's the public defender. So
And that, you
What do you-
got what you need to take the plea. I think he would even agree, he's got no good reason why he was driving.
No, he said he had to get around. I heard him. You didn't hear that?
Yeah, I heard it. Ask him if he thinks it's a good reason now. For crying out loud.
Do you think that's a good reason
We
now?
got 13 more cases.
Do you think
to
that's a
go
good
through.
reason now?
You been driving back then?
Yeah. No, I mean now.
Hey, you need
Excuse me for my language, but no. Oh, you was in my car in the first place. I'm paying off on that car right now. So
he is
Make it right with my
he
brother.
is just
Make it right with your brother.
Yes, he let me use his car.
You were driving his car?
Yes, I was going to the bank and coming straight back. I wasn't just out here driving around.
I gotta drive, Your Honor.
So why didn't you take the bus to the bank?
It was 11 o'clock at night.
Good, you're going to the ATM machine?
Absolutely.
I'm just gonna get some money, Your Honor. Terminator, stay strong. Losing a pet is never fun. We'll keep you in our thoughts.
You remember?
Say that again, I didn't hear.
Like the letter through the night. Wasn't no work. It was no time where anything business wise.
They are tones have left the atmosphere that's gotten so high. They've raised the bar of the tones of their voice way up there, way up there. He's giving these people hell. And
So
and
why
the
haven't you
attorney's like,
gotten
we
your
got 13
driver's
more
license
cases, Your
for
Honor.
8 years since your incarceration.
I had my permit in 2015. They revoked it because I caught a ticket on my way to work out there in the pier. I didn't know that I had a fine to pay on it. So by me coming to court about it in Flint, they told me I had to pay that fine in the pier before they gave me my license.
I wouldn't.
So when I finally took care of that, it was like I had to pay.
Judge Herman's got a straight razor in his boot.
And pay the fee through the court. I had the money at the time. And that time I was like driving tickets. So we kept going up. And the money,
So why do I think that this won't be just another in that series of you catching tickets and driving? Why do I think that you've had a permit before, you blew it because you didn't follow the terms? You're driving when you didn't have a full license. So why am I to think that this is going to be any different?
Because Your Honor, I have my permit in my back pocket. That's that I go for my license next month. I have my permit. I have a permit.
You got a permit.
That's Thursday or Friday. I gotta wait that day before I take this road test.
Good to see you, rosy
I got proof
cheeks.
of me. I can show it to you.
Who's going to let you take their car to you for the road test? Your brother?
$8. I gotta pay $8. I don't have a couple.
Your brother that you wrecked this car?
I use their bill, so I gotta pay my money to use it. I'm saving up for another car right now. I'm working. We gotta call it a day. I thought it was a little sooner for me to make it to work, but by me not having a vehicle to make it there, I gotta call in.
You guys trying to set up a chase for today? I'd love that. Live ones are the best ones.
And where is it that you say you were?
Ty Summit.
Where?
Ty Summit,
And where is that?
Michigan.
And you live in Flint, right?
Yeah.
So
Hallelujah, Snoopy.
what, I
Five
mean, why
bones
would you
on
take
the
a job
judge.
way down in Livingston County if you don't have a legal way of getting there?
It's the bus route. They have an MTA bus that take you there. You gotta be
Ooh,
on time by
good
12:30,
comeback.
and you leave at 12:30.
We would appreciate you guys
can
going
work
over and
like
liking
1:30,
our
clock in by
Got a
2.
Case
I get off
channel
at
on the
10:30,
YouTube.
yeah, all the same
We
routine.
appreciate that a lot.
Monday through Sunday.
Thank you. I want off for Lisa. That would have been a great shirt. Stephen O'Neill. Good to see you. It's creeping in the back door from Canada. Yeah, he's not let. He drives his brother's
Were you
car.
in
Gets
prison in Michigan?
an accident. He doesn't have a license. Then we get into this whole why he was in jail thing that apparently is so bad we won't see it. I don't know.
In that situation.
I'm guessing it might have something to do with him being a minor, is why it wouldn't say.
First charge. I was 15 years old.
Okay, this is what I'm gonna do. I guess, I'm not impressed by a permit. I guess I'd be impressed. I don't know about impressed.
Don't
but
you hate when that
I
happens?
guess I'd feel more. I'd feel better if you had a driver's license. You know what I'm saying? Because a permit, anybody can go down there and get it, right?
Not really.
What do you have to do to get a permit?
Not miss 10 questions. If you not really comprehending the question they read, they say you gotta read, you can feel that test easy.
Well, I mean, then you gotta study for the test. That's why they have this book.
I'm down there just not even reading the book. I go down there just on like the experience.
I'm just saying, if you want to pass the test, you go get this book. They got sample tests in here. What's the big deal?
Pam,
They
I'm
have
sorry to hear
sample
that.
questions with the answers.
That's a rough one.
Not that tough.
Rough morning.
Really, it's not that tough. You think it's that tough?
Judge, how about you help them study for this test?
Well, then maybe they shouldn't be driving.
Absolutely.
I mean, they shouldn't be. All right. Well, you
Locked
say
up.
a couple of weeks, so I guess what I want to do is this. Today is what, the 16th of May?
He's giving him a certain amount of time to have his
that
license.
Monday in July that we're talking about. July 11th, 2022
I know here in North Carolina you
at
have to
9
have
o'clock
insurance
in the
to
morning.
get a license. Maybe that's the issue. He doesn't want to have to break down the cash for the old L insurance.
I mean,
look at him. He's thumbing through the driver book right now, looking at it. He's gonna ask him a question. I guarantee you. He's gonna quiz this dude. It's gonna happen. Judge Herman.
I don't know.
I don't know. What do you mean you don't know? You're the judge. You have to know. By the way, if you haven't already liked this video, please take a second to do so. If you're ever on the Facebook, which I know there are a lot of you,
I just looked at one of the questions.
hit the like
Before
button.
turning left, it is important to A, sound your horn, B,
Okay,
yield to oncoming vehicles, C, swing to the right side of your lane, D, wait until oncoming traffic has a red light.
All right. Does he get it right or wrong? I've paused it for a second. Does this guy know the answer to this question? I say he does not. I say he makes a fool of himself here in just a second. And if you guys know the answer, drop it in the comments. Give you all a second. Do you think this guy's going to know the answer to this question that the judge has just asked him out of the driving handbook that he claims he's going to take the test for? But I would hate to be this guy. I would be so embarrassed if I did not know the answer. And the judge, because the judge is going to ream his ass for not knowing. All right, let's find out.
Which one?
Okay, what was the question again?
Good luck. Good luck, man. Good luck. We'll see you July 11th. Well, you're not listening. July 11th at 9 a.m.
July 11th, Wednesday.
Yes. I'll see you then. And hopefully,
Wow.
I got notes to take too. You're doing that so that Mr. Hollingsworth has a chance to get his license, because if he does that,
Damn it.
you'll feel better even if you're not impressed, correct?
I did say that.
Okay.
I'll feel a little bit better.
All right.
Judge Herman needs a long stick to just poke.
It's yield to oncoming traffic.
What was that beat?
Unless you can be.
He's not even listening to me. He's not listening. Come on.
Vito, that was the answer, right?
Wait for your paperwork.
Make little attention.
Wait for your paperwork.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness.
I want a helicopter. I just don't want to be on the, I want a helicopter. Can you get me a helicopter?
Absolutely. I want to drive it.
Huh?
I want to drive it.
Wow.
All right, let's call people of the
He's just
state of
destroying
Michigan
people
versus
today. Ah.
Felicia Anna Marie Klee, case number 22G00467SM. That's a charge of operating without security. And there is 22G00466ST. That's driving an unregistered vehicle. Okay, let me swear you in. Raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give is the truth to the best of your knowledge, understanding, and belief.
I do.
What is your full legal name?
Felicia Anna Marie Klee.
Spell that for my court recorder.
BHALESHANNAMARIEKLE.
He's on a tear.
And how old are you?
Big one.
Okay, Mr. Wheaton, this is your client.
It is, Your Honor, and we talked today, there was an offer written on the file.
Yes, it was.
What? Let me,
Okay.
that offer, and I have a text from Mr. Bove. After having spoke with Kimball Gracchus, that this case is to be dismissed. But let me get there.
I'm gonna let it slide.
The file doesn't
What?
indicate that.
Let's get those kids to school next time, shall we?
Last time she was in court, somebody suggested.
School's still in,
that
right?
She brings proof of registration, insurance, license, title. And I think that pretty much covered it, right? And talk to the prosecutor, and it may be of some benefit.
My goodness, we're doing terrible on likes.
Gracchus, and he initially indicated to me that the offer was what's on the file there.
Ghost. Well, I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. Judge, not so
then
much.
came in to me while I was talking to people on Zoom and said that he had just talked to Mr. Gracchus, and Mr. Gracchus.
Hey, this is Mr. Baracus.
Told him to tell me that they will dismiss this case.
Both thoughts.
I don't know how you want to handle that. Mr. Gracchus will probably be back in the building now.
This
At the
judge
time
gives
took
it,
place,
and this
he was
attorney
at
give it
lunch.
back and forth each
Okay.
other,
But
man.
my final notice, information to me is that this case is to be dismissed because she's got everything she
Well,
expected to have.
they would need to prepare a nollie pros for everything.
Well, that's fine, but I didn't have to, when we tried to contact him. He was at lunch. Now, you got a nollie process or dismissal, I'll fill it out. I'll sign it as per.
We're gonna jump
Kimball
out for a
Gracchus,
second
and
Well, there's only a nollie
so he
pros
can
for one
get
of
to
them.
some of the other people.
himself, others, or property. The primary consideration in
So what's
reaching my
happening here?
opinion was looking at the fact that Mr. Benkin has not participated in any substance use treatment since the underlying incident. And that was concerning to me given a chronic history of marijuana use that he
Oh,
has.
a
and the
chronic
distinct
of the chronic.
possibility that his intoxication on marijuana could have certainly precipitated or at least heightened his psychosis during the underlying incident. And so therefore, if he were released to the community with no resources available to him to,
Come
to
on,
resist
people. Get it
substance use
together.
beyond sheer willpower and good intentions, I worry that he might succumb to the
He
physical
does. He's very
pain
old.
that has driven his chronic marijuana use, as well as the elevated stress of returning to the community with multiple familial issues he's been dealing with as well. So my concern would be that such factors place him at elevated risk of using marijuana if released to the community, which could subsequently precipitate psychiatric instability and an increased risk for violence.
In giving his history to you or reviewing his records as the history that he gave to others at the facility, did he self-report that he had had virtually daily use of marijuana for approximately the 10 years preceding his commitment?
The reefer madness.
Yes, it was a very lengthy period of daily marijuana use.
And was one of his diagnoses either a personality disorder or an antisocial personality
I'm guessing we're talking
disorder?
about the guy in the top left corner.
Yes, that is a diagnosis that has been considered by both clinical providers and forensic evaluators throughout Mr. Benkin's record.
In your experience, do people with those types of diagnoses have problems either complying with treatment or basically following the rules?
This guy can't get off the pot.
For an individual that has an antisocial personality disorder, or at least some antisocial personality traits or tendencies that would be correlated with poorer treatment compliance and poorer responsiveness and receptivity to supervision.
And they grow their hair out long and get big goatees, like that guy. All right, we'll jump back to Judge Herman. This guy, I don't want to listen to this.
He's been on some
problems.
So what's the situation?
We're moving to there he is. There he is. The man of the hour.
B.A. Baracus.
I'm going to give you guys a minute. Is Jacoby on here?
I didn't know. I didn't tell him to tell you. I just responded to a question.
On the Zoom. Is Jacoby on the Zoom?
Yes.
Jacoby, can you hear me?
Jacoby, are you there? Jacoby?
That's the one I did this morning. I'm sorry.
Jacoby?
Jacoby? Calling
I'm not
Jacoby.
getting the picture on my little screen anymore. I don't know what the deal is.
Where the hell is Jacoby?
Is he up there on the?
He's saying, I'm here.
Well, have him wave at me.
That's it.
Jacoby.
There's Jacoby. He's right there. I see him.
Says he can't speak right now.
Or her.
Okay. All right. Oh, he's all right.
You gonna talk to Jacoby or what? If not, we're jumping over to this quarter. You know what? We're gonna jump in.
This is I don't know what we're doing on this. It says it's a review. This must be one that was in jail then. This is somebody that was in jail. Is he in jail?
No, he was, but he's not. He was either released or he bonded out.
Okay, well.
All right, we're going to jump over
Is
to
he
licking.
In the order they were given to me. So.
Is Andy Bottom here?
Port Ohio,
Ooh, that's loud.
43125.
Is that down near Rickenbacker?
Yes, sir. My parents live down there. And
Is airbase all one word?
yes, sir, it is.
You mentioned that you are, at least up until your arrest, employed by Heath Schools. What do you do?
Drive a bus, and then through the day, I actually have 3 jobs. I drive a bus for Heath, and then through the day I work at the high school, and I have 2 part-time jobs as well.
That's 4.
What are your part-time jobs?
Pizza delivery.
Part-time, I work for ThorSport. It's a NASCAR team in Sandusky, Ohio. I drive up there when the pit crew flies in from a race, and I would pick them up at either Detroit or Cleveland Airport and bring them back to the race shop, and then drive home. And then another job that I do is called Ohio Party Bus. We pick people up at their house, take them to their favorite bar around the lake, keep them from from causing an accident, getting the DUI on the street. They also.
And that's up in Northern Ohio as well?
No, that's here at Buckeye Lake, sir.
Okay, so just curious question here. Why doesn't the racing team hire somebody that's actually from up there to pick them up at the airport and take them back to Sandusky?
It's very, very part-time. They have a guy who has a CDL in the shop. There were some events that he couldn't cover. It's been a dream to be involved in motorsports of mine for 27 years, and just started doing this a couple of years ago.
This is where we bring in the convicts and them stand up here and plead their case.
All right, bear with me. I'm going to take a quick look here at the
Hear all that
court
background
file, and then we're going to address your bond, okay?
A lot of background noise in this courtroom when they go to that camera. Can they tell the criminals to keep it down? I know what they're saying. I can barely hear them.
You on drugs?
Maybe that's what they were saying. I couldn't really hear. What'd he say?
I don't like your attitude.
Okay. He's got 4 jobs.
All right. I have a representative from the law director's office here in the courtroom. You can't see her at this point. Well, actually, I think maybe you have when it was a picture of the entire courtroom. They have a right to be heard regarding the matter of bond as well. Ms. Lay, anything from the prosecutor's office on this?
Uh-oh.
Your Honor, within the last hour, I have met with both the victims in this case, the wife and the mother-in-law of the defendant. Both ladies would ask if the court put a no contact order in place for them, and also that he not be allowed to return to the home on Franklin Avenue in this case.
That they do. Very, very good police chases. And they don't mind sharing those videos. And if anybody's having issues,
all right, so here's what I'm going to do
let me
today,
know.
Mr. Bergen. You have no prior record whatsoever. I've had an opportunity to review the police reports about what allegedly happened, and I feel that a recognizance bond is appropriate here, which means you're going to be released after signing off on some paperwork, promising to show up for future court dates. I will make as a provision on that bond that you are not to have any contact, either directly or indirectly, with either Krista or Gail Kirk while the bond is in place. Now,
did he say Crystal Gale?
By the prosecutor's office for me to put down specifically that you were not to return to the address on Franklin Avenue. I'm going to decline to do that, but for a very practical reason. You have the right to be given what's called standby assistance by the Heath Police Department to retrieve some of your most essential personal belongings from the residence. They'll be there to make sure that there aren't any further problems, that you're able to get your property and everything's safe. If you want to do that, you have to contact Heath to make those arrangements. But other than that, since they live there, obviously you can't go there except for that purpose. Now, this case will be randomly assigned to a judge. It'll be set for a trial.
And her hair.
Send notice of the court dates to you by mail. So make sure that the address on there is the address where your mail needs to go. And it definitely should not be the Franklin Avenue address. Understand?
Yes, sir, the address that I gave you.
You have the right to hire an attorney if you like. You're eligible to ask for court-appointed counsel, and they have the application forms down there. We consider not only your income, but also your expenses, so you pretty much lose nothing by making the application. But the main thing is, you're going to get a lawyer.
Is somebody with Tourette's there in the background?
Getting a lawyer, understand?
Yes, sir.
All right, so do you have any questions?
Well, Your Honor, I have a couple of young children, two boys.
Yeah, I'm not putting any restrictions on your ability to visit with them or to have contact with them, but you can't arrange for that through either Gail or Krista.
So my mom could arrange that with them?
She's not subject to the orders of this court. She can't relay messages from you back and forth between. That would be a violation of the bond, but she can certainly make independent arrangements for the kids to be able to come and spend time with you.
Yes, sir.
Any other questions, sir?
He's done something.
Very well, Mr. Burgoon. You may go with the officer. Thank you.
They do sound kind of possessed, don't they?
All right. Next up is Frank Counsel.
He's got a school bus somewhere and don't have a driver today.
Good afternoon, sir. Are you Mr. Counsel?
Yes, I am.
Is that how you pronounce your last name?
Yes.
Okay. Well,
Like
Mr.
city
Counsel, do
council.
you understand your rights in court today?
Huh?
Do you understand your rights in court?
Yes.
Okay. Did you get a copy of your traffic ticket?
Yes, I did, right here.
Did you read it? Do you understand what you've been charged with?
Oh.
Yes.
You've been charged with operating a vehicle while impaired and also driving on the left side of the roadway. The allegation is that it would be your first ever OVI, so the penalties would be as they were explained on the video. The other charge is a minor misdemeanor, carries a maximum penalty of a $150 fine. How do you want to plead to the charges?
Tough one. Think about it.
Guilty.
All right. Before I can accept your guilty plea, I need to go over a couple of things with you. Well, more than a couple. My first is the OVI carries up to 180 days jail. That the driving under the influence. That's up to 180 days jail, a mandatory license suspension, which can last up to 3 years, and a maximum possible fine of $1,075. Now, those are the maximum possible penalties. There are, however, that means it doesn't have to be like that. But there are mandatory minimum penalties that the court cannot go below if I accept your plea and enter a conviction. That includes a fine of at least $375, a driver's license suspension of at least 1 year, and at least 3 days in the county jail, or in the alternative, a requirement that you successfully
You're
complete
kind of like hard to hear, or I'm getting hard to hear. I'll lean over some.
How much of that did you miss?
All of it.
All of it?
What?
I'm going to enter pleas of not guilty on your behalf, and we'll take care of this in person, all right? What's your address?
It's 1273 Pike Street, Etna, Ohio.
Are you employed? Are you retired? Do you receive disability?
I'm employed. I am employed.
What do you do?
Yes.
I'm sorry, what?
I said, yes, I am.
What do you do? What do you do for a living?
I get paid doing paperwork for a branch of government.
Okay. Say no more. I don't need the FBI knocking on my door. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to release you on your own recognizance, and we're going to get notice to you by mail of when this is going to be. You decide you want to plead guilty, then you can do that. But you also have the right to hire a lawyer, or you can ask for a court-appointed lawyer, but don't wait until the day of trial if you want to get an attorney. Understand?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, Mr. Counsel, you may go with the officer. Thank you.
This guy.
All right, Patricia Fletcher.
Oh, Patricia, come on down.
Good afternoon, Miss Fletcher.
Hi.
Hi. Miss Fletcher, you have an old driver's license charge from November of 2019 that you've never actually addressed. So we're going to do your arraignment here today. We're taking it from the top. I think you've never been arraigned.
What is your name?
That.
Hi. She's high, Your Honor. These
I
people.
never even knew nothing about it.
Yeah, well, it's about 2.5 years old at this point. Plus, we had COVID kind of intervene, so your arraignment got continued a few times. Then you didn't show up. I know you were at Jackson Pike at one point. So anyway, long story short, you're charged with driving under a license forfeiture. This was back on November the 26th of 2019 at approximately 1:30 in the afternoon. They said you were driving a white 2015 Nissan on Hebron Road near 30th Street within Newark. Now, based upon your previous driving record, that charge is what we call an unclassified misdemeanor. That means there's no jail time associated with the charge, just the possibility of a fine and a suspension of your right to apply for a license.
Here in a second.
So do you understand all that?
Yes.
How do you want to plead to that charge?
Guilty.
All right. Now, you don't have to do that. You're presumed to be innocent. You have the right to a trial. The government has the burden of proof. But if you plead guilty, you admit you did it. They don't have to prove anything, and you'll give up your right to a trial. Understand?
Yes.
And are you a citizen of the United States of America?
Yes.
All right. Anything you want to say to address this skeleton in your closet, as it were?
No.
All right. Have you seen the felony magistrate yet regarding bonds?
Yeah.
What'd they set your bond at?
25,000.
Okay. Where's your holder from? Do you know?
Woo!
It's a F5.
Yeah. Do you know? Did you know you have a holder warrant on you?
What?
A holder? Some other county apparently has a warrant out for your arrest, so they put a holder on you. so that even if you got out, they'd come get you first?
They're holding up all the
What
protection.
county's that?
That's what I was asking you.
It has to be Fairfield. That's the only county I know.
Okay. All right. So guilty plea.
$25,000 bond. Sure, she'll get out tomorrow. Maybe later today. Yes, judge is real kinky. That's what it boils down to.
All right, here's what we're going to do, Miss Fletcher.
Shut shows are the worst.
I'm going to go ahead and impose a fine of $125 or you pay the court costs. Any questions?
No.
Very well. You may go with the officer. Good luck.
All right. So what does that mean? I don't understand what you mean.
It means I just imposed a fine on you. That case, that driver's license charge, that case is over with. Now you've got apparently a felony that they're going to determine whether or not to take to grand jury and issue a formal indictment. And somewhere, some other county's got a holder warrant on you. And so presumably they're going to come get you once you're going to be released from our county jail to address whatever that is. Okay?
Okay.
Any other questions?
No.
You may go with the officer. Thank you, Miss Fletcher. Good luck to you.
They're just basically that. All they
Next
did
we have
right there
John
was
Goldsmith.
clean up an old charge she had since they had her in for all these other things. Might as well get that on out of the way while she was here.
Good afternoon, sir. Are you Mr. Goldsmith?
Yes.
Mr. Goldsmith, do you understand your rights in court today?
Yeah.
And did you receive a copy of the complaint that was filed?
Yes.
Did you read it? Do you understand what it is you've been charged with?
Yes.
You've been charged with domestic violence. It's a misdemeanor of the first degree. The maximum
That's no
penalties are
laughing
up to
matter, by the
180
way.
degrees, 180 days in jail. Sorry, up to a $1,000 fine. How do you want to plead to the
180
charge?
I guess no contest.
Now, no contest plea doesn't admit guilt, but it does admit the truth of the facts that have been alleged against you. So you'll get an opportunity to make a statement about what may or may what happened, according to you. But if the statements in the court file, meaning the witness statements and police reports, back up the charge of domestic violence, I'm going to find you guilty. So if you don't want to be found guilty, you need to enter a plea of not guilty.
I'd like to get an OR.
So you want to do a not guilty plea and address bond?
Yes, please.
Okay. What is your current address?
7895 York Road, Southwest, Pataskala, Ohio, 43062.
That's how he shuffled
And are you
in.
employed?
I'm disabled. My
What kind
wife
of work-
is my caretaker.
What kind of work did you do before you were hurt?
I used to paint for in my homes.
Oh, okay. So like new homes, you would paint the new homes?
Yeah.
How long did you work for them?
So true.
Oh, I don't know. 4 years.
All right. Okay, let me take a quick look here at the file, and then we will talk about your bond and whether or not a recognizance bond is appropriate, okay?
Yeah.
That's a big deal.
Doesn't look like you've been in any trouble for about 6 or 7 years. That sound right?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe 5.
Uh-oh,
Yeah.
getting less.
Okay. Let me take a look about what they say happened here first. So
Hang in there, Mayor. We'll try and do our best
Be a
to
second.
hang with you.
Yeah. Not a problem.
Not a problem. I'll just sit here and look very
You keep
depressed.
freezing.
It's screen
it
framing.
actually it switches views, so it's not necessarily freezing. It just sometimes goes off of me.
Don't you mind your business. Oh, man. I already played that. I can hear him breathing from here. Is he taking a number 2 at the podium? It's got him grumpy. He seems really nice. Yes, a real kind man. He's on his way home. He's traveling from the Buc-ee's that we did the opening for this morning. My wife is my caregiver, and I beat her ass, Your Honor. It's not a good idea to beat on someone who's your caregiver if you're in that bad a shape. Just saying. Apparently, he alleged a lot because he's reading a lot. That podium. If that podium falls or breaks, by the way, I'll have to cut the stream off because I won't be able to stop laughing. Just letting you know that. surprised nobody said there's Mikey in 10 years. I mean, he's still good with his hands. He can still put a beating on somebody, I guess. Maybe he just puts his weight behind it.
Well, Mr. Goldsmith, here's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to release you on your own recognizance on 2 conditions. Number 1, you're not to consume any alcohol or drugs while the bond is in place.
Surprise.
And number 2, you're not to have any violent contact with any family or household members. So I'm not putting on a complete no contact order, but if the police get called back out there and there's an allegation of some physicality, even if charges aren't filed, the bond could be revoked. You could be down at the jail until the case gets resolved. So it's important you follow those terms. This case will be randomly assigned to a judge and set for a trial. Until and unless a lawyer gets involved, notice is going to go directly to you. So make sure your address is complete and correct, including that Southwest. You can get an application for court-appointed counsel there at the jail.
I'm surprised you're getting an OR
only
bond.
reason you're being held, so you should be released, which means it'll be your responsibility to get it turned in. The main thing is do not wait until the day of trial to address getting a lawyer. Any questions?
No, thank you.
Well, Mr. Goldsmith, you may go with the officer. Thank you.
I'm surprised he doesn't have like
Brittany
a no
Hubble.
contact, but I guess he does not have one.
Good afternoon. Are you Miss Hubble?
Yes, me, sir.
Inventor of the
Miss
telescope.
Hubble, you're here because I issued a warrant for your arrest back on April the 7th when you failed to appear for a trial. This case is from August of last year, so obviously it's starting to get a little old.
My son passed away right after this happened from a drug overdose. I've never been in trouble. I moved in with my mom, and I didn't move, switch addresses, which is the only reason I didn't even think about with everything going on that this.
Somebody dying there.
We certainly have my condolences on the loss of your son. How long has it been since he passed?
September 4th.
Oof.
As recently as March the 4th, you were arrested on the warrant, and that's right.
I like that
Let's
she
see
came in and
here.
played the sympathy card right away. I mean, just right away, sympathy card.
Looks like you were arrested on the 2nd day of March, but released on your own recognizance, but instructed to appear before the court on March the 2nd. You didn't, but instead of issuing a new warrant, I went ahead and ordered I entered a plea of not guilty on your behalf in order that the matter be assigned to a judge. Now, that came back to us as not deliverable as addressed, and the address that you gave us on your bond. What is your address?
It's 1736 Keela Drive, Pataskala. However, I currently live with my mom, which is 77 West Broadway, Granville, Ohio, apartment H.
Okay, you wrote down 673 West Broadway on your bond paperwork.
I apologize. We just moved in there.
So is it 673 or is it 73?
It's 73, apartment H.
Maybe it was a jailbreak.
Where were you when you got arrested this weekend?
I was in Grove City. I was actually in Walmart getting a few things, and I came out, and for whatever, I'm not even sure what happened. My boyfriend got arrested for something.
I think you might be onto something.
All right.
She don't know what her boyfriend got arrested for, just randomly.
So according to
out of nowhere.
Google Maps, 73 West Broadway is located in the middle of the intersection of Broadway and Main Street. In essence, saying there is no 73 West Broadway.
We literally just moved. I couldn't even call and confirm it with my mom. We live
He just
in
Google
Granville
mapped.
and the Granville Square apartments.
He just Google mapped where she said she lived, and there's nothing there. This judge is thorough.
Well, that is located in the 600 block. And it's actually 677, according to
Is it
this.
677? I apologize.
Well, and then the other thing is, written on it, it says not at this address.
I
Not
don't
really?
know how that's possible.
Not really. I mean, some did.
Who else lives
Yeah,
there besides your mom?
but not in this
Just
magnitude.
myself, my mom, my brother,
Good
and
to see
my
you, Tom.
kids.
Bob, everybody.
And you
Bob's
said
here.
that you were in Grove City and the person that you were with was arrested?
The person I was with was arrested, and I am not even sure why, to be honest.
What's that got to do with why you were arrested?
Well, I've been arrested before, and I was with other people, and I knew damn well what they were getting arrested for.
I don't do drugs. I've never done illegal drugs. I rarely drink. We weren't doing either of those.
Ew. Eddie.
Well, in light of your past failures to appear, I can't release you on your own recognizance. However, I'm going to set a very low bond that you should be able to post, and that's $1,000 cash surety or 10%. So you can put up 10% of that $1,000 to be released. Now, if you don't show up the next time for court, what happens is you and whoever's name is on that bond is on the hook for the entire $1,000. I will say this: in this day and age of information, there's absolutely no legitimate reason to miss court because you didn't know when it was, because we have a website where you can track your own case. You can call the clerk's office and ask them when your next case is. You can physically come down here in person and find out when your next court date is. If you fail
That's
to
what it
appear
sounded
in
like.
the future, and your case is assigned to me,
Mm-hmm.
when you get arrested on that warrant, the bond is going to be much higher than $1,000. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
Now, you are eligible to ask for court-appointed counsel, and you can get the application form there at the jail. If you're unable to post this bond, they will send it down here for you. If you are able to post the bond, then they are going to go ahead and not send it in here, and it'll be your job. If you show up on the day of your trial and want to continue, and so you can apply for an attorney, I will declare what's called a constructive waiver of counsel and deny any motions to continue the matter. Understand?
Yes,
This
sir.
case is getting darn near close to being a year old, and it needs
I've
to
done
be put to
nothing
rest,
ever,
whether it's
Your Honor.
by way of you being found not guilty, them dismissing it, you being found guilty, you check whatever. But next time we're in court, this thing's over. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Hubble, do you have any questions?
I do not.
You may go with the officer. Thank you.
Thank you.
Zachary Heisen. Good
Hello,
afternoon,
sir.
Good afternoon, Mr. Heisen. You understand your rights?
He's ready.
Yes, sir.
Did you get a copy of the complaint?
Yes, sir.
Did you read it? You understand you've been charged with criminal mischief?
Yes, sir.
That's a third-degree misdemeanor. Carries
I
up
believe
to
it.
60
He
days
seems
jail, up to a
mischievous.
$500 fine. How do you want to plead?
I want to plead guilty.
I'm sorry?
I want to plead guilty.
Okay. You know you have a right to a lawyer, correct? And if you couldn't afford one, we
Yes,
give you
sir.
one at no cost?
Mischief.
Yes, sir.
You want to waive that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You still have a right to a trial with a judge or a jury, and you're still presumed to be innocent. Excuse me, and it's still the state's burden to prove guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. But if you plead guilty, you admit that you did it. They don't have to prove anything. You'll waive your right. Understand?
I understand.
I will send you today if I accept your plea of guilty and enter conviction. Have you been threatened in any way or promised anything to get you to do what you're doing?
No, sir.
Are you under the influence of anything right now?
Yes.
No, sir.
And are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, sir.
All right. Let me take a quick look at the file here, and then if you want, you can make a statement. If you don't want to, you don't have to.
I actually want to make a statement.
Hold on.
I
a minute.
work,
let me read the file first, and then
Make a
that way
statement.
I'll have a better
Make a
understanding of what it
statement.
is you're talking about. Okay.
All right, while he's reading that, let me remind everybody, if you haven't liked this video yet, please do so. If you haven't subscribed to our Cases Only channel, that's We Got a Case over on YouTube. You can subscribe to that. So you not just to support us over there, but not to miss anything. Every once in a while, you'll miss something because you don't get alerts, and, well, that's just not cool. So take a minute, do that. Drop a comment. Tell us what you think of We Got a Case. And I look forward to seeing what this young man has to say.
Okay. What do you want to say?
I apologize for whatever I've done wrong in all the same senses that I've actually became a better person than I am back then than I was today. I'm currently employed at Taco Bell on 79. I'm a general manager. I have my own place now. I've been staying clean, all that. I work closely with Colleen Richards and the main place to help and support other addicts that are out there struggling and people that are struggling themselves. I've been doing actually good. I've been out a year. I'm staying out of trouble. First time I've slipped up.
All right. How long have you been working at the Taco Bell?
I've been working at Taco Bell for a year now.
It took a
And
year
were
to
you
become
working there
the
at
general
time this all went
manager.
down?
Yes.
A year to become the general manager of the Taco Bell. What?
Well, I'm not going to put you on probation, and I'm not going to make you sit in jail any longer. What I'm going to do is I'm going to fine you $50 or that you pay the court costs, send you to time served in the amount of 3 days. So, any questions?
Will I be released today?
As long as you don't have anything else holding you in there, and according to the jail roster, it doesn't appear that you do. So, yeah, but be patient with them. It takes a while for them to do the paperwork. So
It's like getting
let them
discharged
do
from
their
the
job,
hospital.
and you can get out of there shortly. Okay?
Okay. Thank you.
Good luck to you, Mr. Heisen.
Just
Jason
lurk all you
Jordan.
want, Bob.
Good afternoon, sir. Are you Mr. Jordan?
The judge should ask him about those
Mr.
Mexican
Jordan, you understand your
pizzas
rights in
coming
court
back.
today?
Yes.
And let's see here. I think you have two cases. You got a traffic case and you have a criminal case. They're both related. Did you get a copy of the traffic ticket?
I did not.
Well, the Highway Patrol, or wait a minute.
His face, something was wrong
Sorry,
with
the
it for a
Pasco
second.
Police Department alleges that on or about May the 14th of this year at approximately 10:07 p.m., you were operating in a silver 2013 Ford SUV on Christie Lee Drive within the city of Pataskala in Lincoln County, Ohio, while you were under the influence of alcohol and or drug abuse. It's also alleged that you did operate that vehicle in violation of revised code section
I'd be like, remember me next time I come
4511.19
in.
when one or more children under 18 years of age were in the vehicle. So they're saying you were driving while impaired and there was a minor in the vehicle. So that's child endangering is the
Okay,
criminal
that's
charge.
not good.
Understand?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How do you want to plead to the OVI?
Not guilty, sir.
Okay. And what's your current address?
539 Yorkshire Drive, one word, and that's in Newark, Ohio, 43055.
All righty. And let's see here.
Chalupas are great. If the shell is fresh.
And how do you want to plead to the child endangering?
Not guilty as well.
Are you employed?
I am, sir.
What do you do for a living?
I'm in sales for Ag Pro, a John Deere dealer in New Albany, Ohio.
Okay. And how long have
He's
you
a
worked for them?
YouTuber.
About 7 years.
And have you always been in sales for your career?
No, I was a technician, a mechanic before. I've been in sales probably about 4.5 years.
Oh. Hallelujah to that. I love the Mexican pizza. Yes, they do. I had one not too long ago. I don't think so. I like the sound of it. It sounds like there's a combine coming in through the wall behind him at the moment. Is there construction going on in here? What is going on? After we hear this guy, we'll probably jump out of here and go to another courtroom. He's
all right,
masked.
so Mr. Jordan, here's what I'm going to do. On both of these
Pulling
cases,
his ears
I'm going to
down.
go ahead. Well, let me back up a minute.
He's an
On
elf.
the 22 TRC 03699 case where they charge you with both operating a vehicle while impaired and the child endangering, I'm going to dismiss the child endangering
They're
charge
so
on
good,
that
Eddie.
case.
So
It's
good.
still there on that criminal case that we talked about, but they can't charge you with that on a traffic ticket. So that's why I'm dismissing that. But on each case, I'm going to release you on your own recognizance on the condition that you not consume any alcohol or drugs while the bond is in place. these cases will be randomly assigned to a judge and set for a trial. As of right now, even though they're related, they are not what we call consolidated, meaning not joined together.
I will see you, Tamale, as well.
You get assigned one judge, one you get assigned. It's up until and unless an attorney gets involved on your behalf, all notices will go directly to you. So make sure you keep track of which case it is. The traffic case starts with TR. It has the letters TR in it. The criminal case has CR, so that's the easiest way.
That's good. Good numbers.
Hire counsel on your own. You can apply for court-appointed counsel, and they have the form there at the jail. You only need one application, but both case numbers, which they can give you. But the key is not waiting until the day of trial to deal with getting an attorney. Get on top of that right away. So that being said, do you have any other questions today, Mr. Jordan?
I do not.
All right, you may go with the officer. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Jordan. All right, let's see what we got going on here. Are we going to bring somebody in, or are we just going to sit here and look at Miss Fink's face? Miss Fink has 2 chairs, by the way. She's in 2 places at once. What the hell are we doing? We're at the jail. Bring him. They're going to make me go back to them. Make me go back to Licking County. Let's do some more licking, I guess.
So are there in fact
Okay,
2 complaints there?
I see the second one now.
Oh, okay.
What's your name,
There we go.
please?
Can I take my mask off if I may?
Yes.
Thanks. My name is Benjamin David Detlefs, Your Honor. How are you?
Fine. You're using the Delana Center for your mail?
What a bitch.
Yeah.
No phone at this time?
No.
Today is Mini Chase Monday.
And,
Tons of stuff
is it
today, so
okay
make
if
sure you're
the
there.
court uses your email to have contact with you?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right.
May I make a formal apology for not taking care of this sooner?
Not necessary.
You sure?
I don't care whether or not you come to court. Doesn't affect my life.
Damn.
So I don't know who you're apologizing to.
I guess I'm just apologizing for not taking care of it sooner. I didn't know it was this big of a deal because I tried calling.
I would not speak on it. Just let's proceed with what we have to do here. And
It doesn't really change what we're going to have to do here. So State of Michigan versus Benjamin Detlefs, 21FB1846. Your office was previously appointed in this matter. Ms. Reed, you may proceed when you're ready.
thank you. Sylvana Reed, Assistant Public Defender, with it on behalf of Mr. Detlefs. He did miss a probable cause conference, it looks like, on January 6th. The notes do indicate in JIS that he did call on the 6th to get the Zoom ID, and he did call again on January 7th. So he was attempting to join the Zoom hearing in order to attend his probable cause conference. He has some mental health issues that have been kind of severe over the last couple of months, which have made it difficult for him to follow up on these matters and to even kind of recall what has been happening. But like I said, he did try, and the notes do indicate that he was not trying to evade the court, and he was attempting to log on. And while he's in custody, he also has not been receiving his meds. And so we would like to ask for some sort of consideration for a PR bond so that he can get out of custody in order to get back on his meds to address his mental health, which is exacerbated quite
put your hand down, buddy.
in custody.
Don't say
so
anything.
he managed to, I think he has quite a few court cases, and getting out of custody, getting back on his meds, and being able to address his mental health will definitely be the most likely way that he's capable of attending court and understanding what is happening with his cases.
What happened in 15th? He was supposed to see someone from 15th.
Yes.
Yeah. I saw them. They made arrangements for me to seek. There was no PR bond. They let me go on that. I just need to go to CMH and follow up with the courts as necessary.
She is. Oof.
don't understand. I'm sorry, I don't understand. They did or
It's for
did
the
not
love.
give you a PR.
They did not. They just said there's no need for a PR bond.
I think he just means that there was no cash bond, not that there was.
Yeah, there's no bond. They just let me go as long as I seek help from CMH and continue up with the courts when necessary.
I am looking at the notes from
From earlier today.
one of his cases or on Friday, it looks like. This is a 14B case, not a 15th, but there is a $5,000 10% bond on that case.
So he does have a bond on something else.
Apparently, that's what I see in our system from
Friday.
one of my coworkers that arraigned him on Friday in 14B.
Yeah. Go ahead, Mr. Detlefs.
I don't think the $10,000 bond. What is that from? A warrant?
She called him Mr. Gutless.
Something else?
This was something that happened on Friday.
I didn't do anything on Friday.
Did you see Magistrate Nelson? No, it wouldn't have been Magistrate Nelson on Friday.
It was Judge Washington, apparently.
Yeah, did you see Judge Washington on Friday?
No, I didn't.
It does say that he was struggling because of.
This is for that.
And I believe that we tried to arraign him on Friday as well, and he did not.
Yeah.
Mrs. Reed, that was for somebody else. The $10,000 bond warrant is for somebody else, not for Benjamin Detlefs. They picked.
I didn't say 10,000, sir.
Can I finish talking, please? It was for someone else. There was a guy, they showed me a picture of the man they were looking for, and they said I was an acquaintance with him. And I said, no, I am not. I'm just staying here at the hotel. And they ran my record and it said I had warrant, so they brought me in. But I haven't been taking medication, and I was relapsing, and forgive me for relapsing, but
Okay,
I'm
so
an addict.
Mr. Detlefs, it sounds to me
He's doing himself no
you
favors.
have not been doing well since you were arrested on Thursday. We tried to see you. I tried to see you on Friday, and you were not well enough to see me on Friday.
I know.
You did see.
I really need to see hospitalization. This is cruel and unusual punishment. You can look it up in the Supreme Court.
Well, don't tell me the law. I don't appreciate that.
Judge Valvo agreed with me, though. I'm sorry.
So Judge Valvo is who you saw today.
No, I went in front of Judge Valvo when I was on.
He's
mental
not
health.
No idea why he's wearing
Can I
that.
please say something?
Sure.
Please.
Yeah, go ahead.
I was on court for mental sobriety court, and I was thrown in jail, and I was released because they weren't giving me my meds when I was in jail. And James Fifelski it was Judge Valvo, and James Fifelski was representing me. And they stated some case that went to the Supreme Court calling cruel and unusual punishment for throwing someone who's schizophrenic like myself in jail and not giving them medication. And I've been here for 3 days and I haven't had medication and it hurts. Could you please talk to Judge Valvo?
Not today. I'm not going to do that today.
How dare you?
So I am going to give you a personal bond, and I will put a note in the file about why I'm doing that. Your court date will be Thursday, May 26th. So now you gave us a different email this time. Last time your email was
I got a bunch of them, Your Honor.
Baboon Sage 5.
Yeah,
Baboon Sage.
I don't have
5.
a computer, so sorry, it doesn't matter.
It does
Baboon
matter because
Sage 5.
you need to be able to get an email so that you know how to appear by Zoom, or you have to make sure that you're here in the building. Because I'm not going to give you another PR if you miss your court date.
That's what it says, yes.
So you got to figure that out.
Okay.
So the email you gave today is Colossus Trover.
Yeah.
Is that an okay email to use?
Colossus Trover and Baboon Sage.
All right. You're all set.
Great email.
What is the PR bond? Decide that.
Personal bond. You don't have to pay any
PR
money.
means you
I
don't
don't.
have to pay any cash.
What about the other one for the other court?
I think you still have to be arraigned on a couple of cases, so you're
How does
probably
that
not gonna be
make
let out of custody until you're able to address those.
Can I get out tonight if I don't have to pay anything? Or if I have to pay anything, what do I have to pay to get out?
The corrections officers can tell you what your bonds are and what you would have to pay to leave.
Okay, please, because the sooner I get out of here, the sooner I can go to the hospital.
I've given you a personal bond. That's all that I can do.
Thank you, because I really do need the medication.
Okay.
She understands.
I swear, what?
She understands. You're all set here.
You're all set.
All right.
Thank you.
You know, with that vest on, he kind of looks like
He's
a
like
turtle.
a turtle now.
He's a turtle. All right, turtles. I've enjoyed hanging out with you guys. I've got to get things ready for me and Creed to do. We got a chase at 4:05. We're going to have mini chase Monday, tons of different chase stuff, along with a few things that are not chase that are just as fun. And we hope you would enjoy it as well. If you haven't already liked this video, please do so. If you're considering following us on Facebook, don't worry about liking us. All you got to do is follow us. That's what counts, and that's what matters. If you're new here, please consider going back and looking at some of our old videos, commenting, because those things are golden. We need that. I think that's everything.
Well, we're waiting.
Sorry about that. Until next time. Pew. Please remember.
Somebody is renting it is, and it's not in my name and it's not in anybody else's name. It's in somebody else's name.